So if you're a Sean O'Malley fan, a big fan of him, which I understand, entertaining guy, entertaining personality. If you're a big fan of him, I would suggest putting away the pitchforks for now, putting away the venom. You might have seen the title and already coming in hot. Just listen to what I have to say, hear my perspective, and then share your perspective in the comment section down below. I'm curious to hear what you have to say as well, of course. Um, I was very curious to see what would happen in this fight because, Sean usually fights unranked people, lower quality people by design and purpose, as he said himself. He doesn't want to fight anybody super high ranked if he's not getting paid more. Fair enough to him. And I wanted to see if the Pedro Munhoz, the Marlon Vera fight, not if it was a fluke or not, but if it was a stumble in the road for him. Like, he just bad circumstances. It's gonna get him next time. He's gonna show it here that he's really really high quality and potentially set up a rematch with him in the future. So I, I watched the fight obviously live. I watched it again. I watched some highlights. I thought about it. I had time to digest. And by the way, I will talk about Pedro Munhoz later on in the video about the whole eye poke thing and whether or not he faked it. But we're going to start with O'Malley, okay? So I watched the fight and everything. I thought I had some time to think about it. I'm sorry, guys. I I don't think that Sean O'Malley is going to be champion. At least right now. And not at least for the next little while. I don't know if he has what it takes to be champion. Um, this is not. I don't hate Sean O'Malley, so I don't want people to think that I'm some sort of bias against him. I'm not like a crazy fanboy, but I enjoy watching him fight. Every time he fights, I tune in. I think has a good sort of gimmick persona he's trying to go for. He's making a lot of money. He's doing good outside of the cage as well. Nothing against the guy at all. I'm just purely talking about what I saw. Okay, let's talk about round one first of all, okay? No. Before I get into round one. So Sean O'Malley thinks that he was winning the fight and he was dominating, which is interesting. Whatever. I'm not going to get too much into that. But the crazy part was I saw some people like on social media and like on MMA websites, articles, like in the comment section, saying stuff like, "Oh, Sean was, checking all the leg kicks, and Pedro was having a hard time landing, and this is why Pedro was looking for a way out. Pedro just couldn't land any leg kicks. Sean was just clearly winning the fight." And I was reading them and I was like, yo, did I watch a different fight? Like, what the hell is going on? Obviously, when I'm watching these fights, I have like friends over and sometimes you're talking and distracted. But I was watching the fight, yo. Sean was not dominating that fight, dude. He was not dominating that fight. He was not checking every leg kick. I had Pedro winning round one. Now, round two, I wanted to wait to see it finish, and then I could have scored it more properly. Round three, who knows what would have happened? I don't know. Maybe Sean would have started landing more effectively. And I know some people were saying, like, Sean was kind of finding his range better in round two. Sure, whatever. I mean, you can make the argument. But you can clearly see the difference. Like, when Sean fights, like, an unranked opponent, lower quality opponent versus Pedro, of course there's going to be a difference, right? Because, they're ranked differently. You can clearly see the difference. He was having a much harder time finding his distance, finding his range. Because the one thing I really enjoy about Sean's fights, you can say whatever you want about him, the dude is entertaining and his striking is pretty damn sick. Right? I'm gonna use that word, pretty damn sick. His kicking, his punching, his distance control, his range, his quickness, his creativity. He's very entertaining to watch in the striking department, especially when he's fighting a lower ranked opponent, right? But I can see where the wall is about to get hit. I'm starting to see it. Pedro had a very patient game plan. He had a smart game plan. He was just kicking him, staying at distance. Sean wasn't landing anything significant. Sean was having a hard time finding his distance properly. He was having a hard time picking where he should go in and where he should go out. Like, you could see it was not easy for him. And I think that Pedro, if he continued fighting a smart fight, dude, he could have won the fight. He really could have. And Sean could have just had to start again. But here's my thing, okay? You can clearly see that he was just having a hard... And if he's having a hard time like this with Pedro, you can just imagine what would happen if he starts fighting some of the higher ranked guys. Now, again, you can make the argument, hey, he's still in his early development. He's still working his way up through the ranks and this and that. Totally understand. That's a totally fair argument. I'm just saying, based on the hype he has right now, this was kind of like a, hey, you've had a couple of, you've had quite a decent amount of fights. It's time to find out if you could beat someone in the top 10. This just didn't show anything to me, right? Like, usually when a guy has hype and he's moving up the rankings, usually you get an idea of where he is, because if he's for real, he's beating people, ranked first unranked, then maybe within the top 15, and then someone in the top 10, and the top 5. Like, look at the way Shavkat Rakhmonov recently, like, we're starting to see, like, oh yeah, this dude is really damn good. His last fight against Neil Magny, they run through these guys, the ones who are really, really for real. Sean was not. He was having a tough time. Let's look at this, okay? Where is this? Just look at the rankings, okay? So he's number 13 right now. By the way, yo, Umar Nurmagomedov is coming, yo. He's coming, yo. He's ranked number 15. He's coming. Let's just look at some of the people. Song Yadong, Pedro Munhoz, again, who we just struggled with. Dominic Cruz, that would be interesting. I mean, there's Rafont, Marab, Marlon Vera, who I still don't think Sean would beat right now. Corey Sandhagen, no way. Jose, nope, I don't think, especially if it's a 3-round fight, I could see Jose chopping up Sean's legs. And I know Jose doesn't kick as much as he used to, right? Of course he doesn't kick as much as he used to, but I could still easily see Jose be like, yo, if I just chop this guy's legs apart, I can win this fight. TJ, no chance Sean could beat him. Piotr, nope. Aljamain, hell no. Aljo would run through Sean O'Malley right now. He would run through him. So, again, I'm listing off a lot of the guys in the top 10 who I don't think he would beat. Would Sean O'Malley beat Frankie? Yeah, I think Frankie's kind of at the point now where he could maybe, because Frankie's, he's towards the end of stages. But, if Frankie uses wrestling and just took him down and held him, we don't even know if O'Malley would beat him. I would probably, just because of where Frankie is, at this point of his career. But, dude, that's not even a guarantee that Sean would just run through that. After that Pedro Munhoz fight, this is not a guarantee either. Man, I mean, look at some of these other guys, man. Like, no. Like, TJ would... Come on, dude. So... Now let me just talk about Munhoz, okay? Did Munhoz fake the eye injury? I always give fighters the benefit of the doubt for certain things. If you ever look at my channel, I don't believe that Aljo acted when he got hit with the knee. I defend Aljo consistently for that. I still do to this day. I usually defend fighters when this type of stuff comes up. I always defend fighters against the nonsensical stuff about, oh, this guy's scared of this guy, and this guy's scared of this guy. Like, yeah, these guys who literally spar hundreds of rounds in the gym, literally fight everybody inside their gym, fight professional fighters for a living. Yeah, they're scared of another guy. They're scared he's going to punch him any differently than some of their... Like, they're not scared. I mean, there's different matches some people are favorable, but, like, scared? I don't buy that. Me and you, the viewer who's not a fighter, yeah, we'd be freaking scared because we don't do this for a living. But let me tell you this. You go spar hundreds of rounds against people every single, weekly, do it for 2 years, your level of fear when it comes to fighting people is going to be much, much lower because you're just so used to doing it all the time. Sorry, that was just a side tangent. Where's the rankings? So I usually defend fighters a lot when it comes to this stuff. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know if he faked it because it just wouldn't make sense. Like, he was doing fine in the fight, so it's like I don't know if he was faking. Like, what did he think it was going to be like a technical decision, or they're gonna? He thought, okay, I'm up on the scorecard, so I can just win like this. I don't know, but I will say again, he says the cornea or something was scratched, and the doctor confirmed that. So if the doctor confirmed that, I'll have to go with what the doctor says, or whoever did the tests or checked them up. When I first saw it, when I was watching it live, I will be honest, the way I looked at it from the replay, this eye poke, the way I saw it, I thought that it did not look like that bad of an eye poke. Now again, I'm not in there, and I typically don't doubt fighters when they say stuff like this because I don't believe any of them are scared or anything like that. But I saw that and I was like, is he maybe exaggerating this a little bit? Could be. And this is, to be quite honest, this could be like one of the first times I've ever watched where I was like, yo, that, I don't know. Like, there are a couple times where, like, for example, Josh Koscheck, when he would fight a couple times, like, he would clearly kind of fake some stuff. I remember, I think it was against Paul Daly where he said he got kneed in the head, but then on the replay it was like, no, you did not get kneed. So it's very rare that I say this, but again, because of the whole Dr. Cornea thing, like where he said, what was the exact thing? Pedro Munhoz, eye injury. What was it again? Yeah, corneal abrasion, right? So if a doctor confirmed that, like, who am I to really say that that's not true? I'm just saying that when I saw it live, I was like, he could be a little bit, maybe a little bit. He's exaggerating it, maybe. But if the doctor's saying that happened, I'm just gonna believe what the doctor says. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say besides that. Again, very disappointing way to end the fight. Sean O'Malley's got a lot I think he's got a long way to go before he can. Sean O'Malley, let's just put it this way, is not a Shavkat Rakhmonov, a Hamza Chimaev, a Conor McGregor, a Francis Ngannou. He's not a Israel Adesanya. He's not a Yuri Prochazka. He's not one of those people. I think he's going to have a much slower rise to the top if he gets there. So those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more content similar to this. I will catch you later. Peace.